sounds of things, it sounds like they're going to get nailed pretty good with some weather out that way. But you know, the team that's going to have an opportunity to win this league is going to find a way to win games on the road. And we want that to be us. This road swing is very important to us.
I know you haven't been on one yet, but how are they going to compare to the Missouri Valley road trips?
You know, I'm not sure because I haven't been on one. So in terms of the environment of the building, what exists in that building, I'm not sure from an environment standpoint. But obviously our travel's a little bit longer, everything's a little bit new. But, you know, we've traveled enough and been enough places the last few years. I don't think that'll be a huge factor to the guys. We'll get our work done tomorrow morning before we leave. Fly in there, play the game Saturday, and then head to Chicago.
Talked a little bit after the game about, you know, points per possession and things like that from shooting outside and things. Are you a numbers guy with, okay, if we look at the percentage of shots we make, and gets us this many points every 10 possessions versus 3s and 2s, like what do you look at and analyze, I guess, when you're trying to establish what you want to do on offense?
I'm probably not as crazy into the numbers as some coaches are. There's a lot of the NBA that's really gone in to looking at really strictly a lot of their decisions are made on numbers, and I think some of it's feel. But points per possession is important to us offensively and defensively. We'd like to try to hold our opponents below 1 point per possession, and we'd like to be above 1 point per possession. And I think the other night we held Marquette to .77 points per possession, which is, you do that, you're going to win a lot of games. And we were just barely above 1 point per possession, but we did get there. But our efficiency this year has been somewhere in that 1.17, 1.18 points per possession, and obviously a good three-point shooting team is going to lend itself to getting there a little easier.
Can you see that effectiveness and efficiency that you guys have had here? Is that something that you look to continue down the road, or you just maybe, you know, take the best players that you can find, obviously, but I mean, how do you evaluate and move forward with your program, you know, based on those things?
Well, we'd like to have guys who can shoot it, because that maybe makes us a little bit different. You know, I think shooting is a tremendous skill to have in this game, and you know, there's guys that can run and jump and touch the top of the square and all that thing, and certainly we need a few more of those guys as well. But I think shooting is a great equalizer. It spaces the floor. It gives guys maybe an opportunity that aren't that good at getting to the basket to be able to get to the basket because they can get there in space, in traffic. So that'll continue to be a focus of ours in our recruitment. Some of the young players in our program, I think, shoot the basketball pretty well and have a high basketball IQ, so that's something we'll continue to try to attract.
Jahenns is playing pretty high level. What do you see different?
You know, he's matured as a player. You know, he's become a better rebounder. Without question, he's a better passer than he was a few years ago. You know, his energy has always been great. You know, it's fitting that he would have a game like he had in our first Big East game ever, because he maybe doesn't get enough credit for what he brings to our team. You know, his consistency with his energy and his effort and his communication has really been there from day one. So for him to be able to look back on a night like Tuesday for the rest of his life, you know, it's very fitting that he would play well in that game.
Rob, his leadership abilities has probably never been questioned, but some people have questioned his basketball. Have you?
No. I mean, you need a lot of different pieces to the puzzle to make this work. And if everybody needed the ball as much as Doug needed the ball, then we wouldn't have a team that could function. You know, Doug needs touches, and when Doug gets touches, good things usually happen for our team. Good things happen for his teammates. He'll create some shots for other people. But you need somebody that's going to take the challenge of defending the other team's best shooter. You need someone that takes upon the challenge every day of, you know, I'm going to make sure that we have some energy in this practice, and the team that I'm on is going to communicate. And Jahenns has done that every single day. And that group is unique with Jahenns and Doug and Ethan and Grant. They all lead in their own way, and they all provide very important leadership to our team, but they do it within their own personality. Jahenns has never tried to be something that he's not. He's taken the ability that he's been blessed with, and he's tried to maximize it the best he can.
Tried to be a dunker the other night.
I haven't watched it yet to see if it in fact was dunk. I think I'm going to need some slow motion video high quality video to see if his finger actually touched the rim, which would constitute a dunk. But he's maybe one of the guys in the team I can still beat in the dunk contest.
I think the fingernail got the rim.
Fingernail got it. Well, then it's a dunk.
Got
You got to give it to him. It's one more than I had in college.
Did you ever, when Gene Teague transferred to Seton Hall, did you ever think you'd be facing him again?
Oh, I was just thinking of that last night watching it. I never thought I'd see that big body again. But he's really improved. He's got himself in great shape, and he's such a physical presence around the basket, especially on the offensive end of the floor. It'll be our challenge to make him move in space, like we tried to do with Marquette's front line, and make him pull him away from the basket and have to guard those guys on the perimeter. Not knowing for sure whether he's going to play certainly changes the complexion of their team.
When you stay out on the road like this, is it tough to prepare for the second game of the road trip, being out on the road and not being back home?
No, we'll get down to business. It's just the reality of it is we're not in school anyway. Some of the guys aren't in their dorm room; they're staying somewhere else. So we might as well stay in a hotel somewhere and save the time of the airplane and just get into Chicago at a decent time Saturday and get to work Sunday and Monday on the ball.
Is this really when the grind starts? I mean, you got the first Big East game out of the way. I mean, now it's conference the rest of the way, and you're on the road, back-to-back games. Is this when the grind starts for you guys?
I think the grind started last week. At least it felt like it. That was a heck of a grind on Tuesday, just wait for the game to start. But knowing now that you don't have any games that are going to be easy. You have to show up and be ready to hook it up every game. And if you're not at your best, there's a great chance you're going to get beat, regardless of who you play in this league. And that's probably where it's different. From the Valley last year, with some teams last year in the Valley that were retooling and rebuilding with some new coaches. You could maybe not play your best, and your ability would carry you. This year, we're going to have to be on top of our game if we expect to go on the road and win.
What's leading to that? Just the nature of the team, or what's the difference this year?
Yeah, I'd say a little more personnel and just the way we're getting defended. We don't have Greg anymore. We don't have a true center, I guess, in there who's going to be able to give us some inside touches. So with the way our guards are getting in there and kicking it out, we're just taking what the defense is giving us and just being ready to shoot them.
This is kind of it seems like Mac was talking about after the game a little bit, just the rationale, like you guys shoot it so well, you're going to get so many points, possession, etc. How unique of a team and a lineup is it for you guys to be able to do that and have confidence in winning that way?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of that's this team's thing. We can shoot the ball from the outside very well, and just the way I go back to the way people are defending us. If they're not going to take it away, we're going to keep doing it. It's not, obviously, it's not tough. We're not going to turn down open threes because we maybe shot 30 of them already. We're just going to keep letting them fly. And at the same time, though, we can't fall in love with the outside shot. If there's a game where they're not falling, we got to find other ways to score as well. So.
You got a first Big East road trip coming up. Taking a trip out east, staying out there for 2 games. What's the team mindset heading out there?
We're excited. We're ready to go out, and it's kind of like in the Valley. It's if you can take care of it at home, that's what you're supposed to. But you really find out how good a team you got when you go on the road. So we know we got to be 100% ready for these 2 games and just take it one play at a time and take it together.
You know anything about Seton Hall yet? What have you seen or heard about them?
They're very offensively good. They're a good team. They get it up and down. They got some guys who can really shoot it. They have a good transition game, and that's kind of just the main part of the team so far.
You feel like you kind of got the Big East, the first game, Big East nerves out of the way, kind of like getting that first date out of the way. Now you're onto the second date, so to speak.
Yeah, it was excited. We were excited for that game. There was a lot of focus on it, but it was good. It was good. I was happy with the way we played, but at the same time, now we can't dwell on the past, and we weren't here just for one game, so we really got to flip the page and turn our focus to see.
How do you compare, the crowd after Doug hit his first shot to open the game the other night versus maybe Wichita last year? Just where does that experience and environment rate, I guess, for you in your career?
It was a really unbelievable, electric feeling to be out there. Just from when we got out there, 84 minutes before the game for tip-off, there's students in there. There's people filling in. So just from the moment you set foot in the arena, you kind of felt the electricity, and you knew it was game day. You should be ready to go.
A lot of people, the television announcers, the Milwaukee paper, etc., talking about it was an NBA environment, things like that. How have you seen that grow? How cool is it to see where this program is and this crowd is now versus when you first came into this program?
Yeah, it's I can't even put into words really how much it's grown in size and capacity and loudness. I just overall, like 5 years ago, I wouldn't say. I remember the signs in my room. It was top 15. We were proud about. Now we look trying to get top 5 attendance. So it's just kind of crazy to see in 4 years really how Omaha's really supported us and rallied around us. It feels great.
Did you ever have to guard Dean T when he was at 7?
I did. I remember him. I remember just playing at Central League Center where he was in there. He was just starting to kind of get into rotation. He was a big boy, I remember, and he was a good player. And from what it looks like on film, he's gotten a lot better since we got seen him.
I was gonna say he hasn't gotten it.
No, it definitely didn't. It definitely hasn't.
Hey, there's never been any doubts about Jahenns' leadership ability. Talk about his growth in that.
Yeah, Jahenns has just really embraced what he can do for our team so well. He's our energy guy, he's our defender, but at the same time, his confidence has just grown every year. I think his shots on inside, they're hitting the rim. They're just dead swishes right now, and you can tell that when he catches the ball ready, it's going to go up, and it's got a really good chance of going in. So just his confidence in the 4 years of playing, I think it's just gone up every year, and it's a good thing to see him play with.
Where's your
I mean, pretty good. I really don't feel like I've been playing, or trying to force the issue or anything. I think I'm playing off of the guys. Doug does such a good job of attracting attention to himself, and Ethan is always spotted up, and people can't leave him. So it's opening driving lanes for myself, Grant and Austin, and other guys that come in. I'm just playing within myself. Guys are finding me at the right times, and I'm relatively open when I take shots. I'm never going to be the type of guy that's going to run up in transition and force one up. So if I just keep playing within myself, playing within the strength of our team by moving the ball around and being in the right spots, it should be fine.
Talk about just the unique makeup of this team that allows you guys to be confident in shooting the three. It doesn't matter how many times you put it up. You know you guys are going to, like last game, it wasn't necessarily the best shooting game for you guys, but you still knocked down shots when you needed it. Just how unique of a lineup and a team is this to be able to have confidence to rely on the three every game?
I think introducing Ethan to the starting lineup was a really big step for us. Obviously, he stretches the floor out so far, and like I said, it opens up driving lanes for everybody. And then at the same time, we see each other knock down shots in practice every day, so we just are really confident that when our number is called and we have that open shot, that we'll be able to knock it down. Like you said, last game wasn't our best shooting performance, but when the game was on the line or in the balance, we were able to knock some shots down. It's just something that we do each and every single day at practice. It's a part of who we are, and we're not going to shy away from open shots.
How amped are you guys for this first Big East road trip?
Sorry, say that again.
How amped are you guys for this first Big East road trip?
We're pretty excited. I mean, obviously Marquette is in the past now. We have to look forward to a really good Seton Hall team. They're good offensively. We're going to have to do another great job defensively like we did on New Year's Eve. So, we're looking forward to it. I think this team is, veteran enough to understand what a road trip consists of, how focused we have to be going to somebody else's arena and try to get a win over them. So we're really excited, but we got to maintain a good level of focus.
Is this when the grind starts? Back to back on the road, staying out on the East Coast.
I mean, anytime you get into conference play, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Everybody wants to defend their home court, like I said, and it's going to be a little more difficult out east. But we're up for it. We're up for the challenge, and we can't wait to see what it's going to look like on Saturday.
Your leadership abilities have never been questioned. Sometimes
it never has.
Never has.
Not by Pivot.
But sometimes maybe some of your past. Has that ever bothered you?
No, I try not to look at stuff like that. I think our team, all in all, does a pretty good job of not trying to pay attention to what the outside world says about us. We understand who we are. We understand why we're here. There's a reason why we got chosen to play on this team, and we're all confident in ourselves and our abilities. That if one guy has a bad night, the next guy will pick it up for him, and so on and so forth. So, regardless of what other people have had to say, I really try not to let it get to me. I rarely hear about it anyway. So, I just try to maintain with what our team has to do, what I can do individually to make our team better. And, so far it's worked out pretty well, I would say.